Well, Capricorn, if you thought last week was challenging, get ready because Saturn is about to be in opposition to the Sun. Capricorn, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. I always provide an extended reading, which is optional, but I hope that you'll join me for it. I will attach the link down below in the description box, as well as pin it to the top of the comment section, so you can easily find it. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and ring that notification bell after you subscribe so that you know when I upload your favorite content. Sagittarius, I'm sorry, I was going to say Saturn, and then it moved aside. Capricorn content comes out every single Wednesday at 9 a.m. I've just been getting it a little bit, I got my wires crossed. So yeah, it's Capricorn comes out every single Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's over here on the East Coast. So I hope you'll join me every week. It was tough last week, especially during that new moon, because Saturn is in, and it has been in the midst of a square to both the nodes. It's just that's where its position is. And that's going to be like that all year. But ultimately, this grand square, this grand cross happened during the new moon with Mercury, because of where Mercury was positioned. But now the Sun has slipped into that position. Mercury has moved on, and the Sun has slipped into that position. So now there's another grand cross that's formed in the sky this week, in like a day or so. But it involves the Sun. So instead of Saturn being in opposition to Mercury, Saturn is in opposition to the Sun. So this construct of how you feel about yourself, how much authority you feel like you have over your own life, whether or not people take you seriously, those can be extreme challenges during this transit for you. You know, being in constant conflict with the way that you think people perceive you, or people questioning you a lot. You can find, or at least be sensitive to, feel like that is happening a lot to you this week. And I tell you, whether it is or isn't, you're going to feel that way. And it could very well be that more people are conflicting with you, or your sense of authority over a situation, even though you know you're good at something. Your sense of, which means your sense of authority should be high, but it feels like you're always being opposed, or people aren't taking you seriously. And pushing or trying to convince people, it's just not the way to deal with it. The way to deal with it is to take deep breaths, let them talk, and really just keep yourself high quality, your standards high. And if they try to undermine you, that will be conflicting, because especially if it's like you're trying to keep the standards high, but they keep usurping your authority somehow, and ultimately starting to chip away at those standards, that's going to really frustrate you and upset you. And I mean, the only way I can say this is don't take it personally, because it's not. It's got more to do with them and issues that's going on in their lives. They're almost not even thinking about, you know, what they're saying or even who they're talking to. And ultimately, don't try to save somebody from their own mistake. If they're challenging you, then let their challenge be their own downfall. And then when they turn around to blame you, I know that you do this, keep the receipts. Be like, so we talked about this on Tuesday, and I did say this to you. Here's the email, or here's the conversation. Let me remind you. And you still insisted on doing it this way. And so I took notes, and I did it exactly the way that you insisted, and this was the outcome. So maybe next time we try it like this, because it's not personal. This person isn't even thinking of necessarily you, or that they're undermining you, or, I mean, they're just not. They've got their own shit going on. Because remember, you're not the only one that feels that grand square in the sky. Everybody's feeling it in a certain way, and it's coming out in a lot of different ways. So this is not personal, but it is gonna it's going to feel like you're being attacked. I don't think any physical attacks are going to happen, but I think just in terms of your level of expertise, you're going to feel like that's being undermined. So slow and steady wins the race, but there's a sense of some being impulsive, like rushing in or rushing to a conclusion. And this is what I'm talking about. This means that you're dealing with people who are being irrational based on their emotions. They're making decisions based on their emotions, and we all fucking know that that doesn't work out well. Or this is a warning for you saying you might be prone to do this because you might be really sensitive to these topics, or this, especially when, your work means a lot to you. How you do your work, it means a lot to you. And you take everything that you do, you are your work. That's sort of a Capricornian mentality, is they are their work. So if somebody's constantly asking you or questioning you, this may feel like jumping to emotional conclusions. Like when somebody's attacking your work, they're actually attacking the deepest parts of your soul. So there is a sense of, how could I not take it seriously, and feeling restricted. But the fact that these, in other words, so freedom is yours, but it's in reverse. So it really feels like you're tethered and chained and can't really do anything, and you're going to have an emotional reaction to this. So these are your two biggest challenges. And it also is saying, more esoterically, that your feeling of being chained, your feeling of being restricted, your feeling of being a workhorse instead of being able to be free and creatively in charge of the situation. It's going to make you impulsive and jump to conclusions emotionally without thinking about them. So be aware, because this is the energy you're dealing with, and it's not easy energy. So I want you to be aware of it, so that when you get into these situations, especially the ones where you feel tied up, like you feel like somebody has just completely taken away your wildness or your own sense of autonomy or, personal authority, take a deep breath and realize that this is not personal. And if you jump to conclusions or let your emotions make your decisions, that could be when actually your authority is taken away. Because then people are going to be challenging you, like, can you handle this? Can you handle this? It's almost like that. People could sort of back you into a corner that way. So just be very okay if that's the way that you want it, and go pedantically. But the way that you're gonna blow off steam is by taking those notes, is by using your expertise and taking the notes and documenting things, so that when people are in their right mind again, you can go back and say, well, this is why things, because people will inevitably, when they when they act out emotionally, things will inevitably blow up. Right? And they won't go well. So you can easily go back, and even if it's you that's blowing up and things aren't going well with your decisions, right? Because you're being reactive, emotionally reactive. This is that sense of being able to even journal it and go back and say, wow, this is definitely what caused the hardships. This is definitely what caused the struggles. So that's where you can let off steam. And even feel in some ways that you're in control of your life, is just by taking the notes or keeping those emails and filing them away and organizing your thoughts, as well as especially your communications and interactions with people. Let it shine. So this is sort of your hidden talents, right? People may not think that you're much of anything, but your hidden talents are what you really want to demonstrate or say. This is also like scorpionic energy, stuff that has been built up deep might come out now. So what this may trigger is a lot of things that have been sitting deep down inside of your soul, because it's pushing your buttons. There could be ruptures from within, FYI, but it's also saying let your hidden talents shine, which can be like your organizational skills, your ability to do logistics or trace logistics or track back. It's those unspoken talents that are really going to actually make you look good this week. Transformation is beautiful. Okay, so this is also scorpionic energy. So there's definitely a sense of a rebirth or something re-emerging. Yeah, something reemerging, maybe even getting a second chance. Or it's saying, listen, you will get a second chance at this. Whatever's happening this week that's really frustrating you, it's not forever. It's only for this crazy kind of like crap that's happening through mid to late August. So it's almost like, yeah, it could last all season, but ultimately you will emerge from this much stronger. It's just about developing those skills that are going to make you stronger. Transformation is beautiful. So it's almost saying that this pressure cooker for you is the cocoon. It's breaking it down. The universe is breaking it down for you and saying, hey, Capricorn, just an FYI, you're experiencing this because you're actually wrapped up in your cocoon. You need this pressure to become what you are meant to be. This is karma everywhere, all over, especially that because Saturn is square to a conjunction between Uranus, the North Node, Mercury conjunct Uranus, conjunct the North Node. So it's almost saying this is a karmic pressure cooker. You're supposed to be going in this different direction, and that's why it's happening to you. That's why. So expect that from this. Like that's why. Understand it and know it for whatever comfort that gives to you this week. And then we have take time out. And then we have brown bear spirit. Take time out. Bear is something that wants to attack, that wants to be, I saw 11:11, be very defensive. So you will be on the defense, especially for like loved ones. So it could be like a message of you are being protected. This is not meant to ruin you. It's meant to expand you and grow you and get you out of staying in the same place that you've been for so long, right? So ultimately it's meant to push you forward. It's also meant to make you realize sometimes you just got to step back, or else your tipping point will be there and you'll blow your top. That's also what bear is going to remind you of. Take time off, or take a break, or don't put so much pressure on yourself. This is a really great time for you to realize where in your life you have taken on too much and what you have to let go of, like trimming the fat. I used that a lot a couple of weeks ago, but that's kind of what it is. It's like if you're feeling a lot of pressure, how can you relieve the pressure? How can you take control and relieve the pressure yourself? And ultimately that's kind of saying that this is time for you to realize what has to go. It's a great week to realize, okay, to kind of figure out what's high priority and what's not, what's working and what's not. Like that is 100% what this week is trying to show you, because you may have taken on too much. And give yourself the authority, even if you're dealing with especially if you're dealing with stupid crap, give yourself the authority to, take a break from other things. So if you have like high priority situations, you can just deal with those situations and take priority, take sort of, just take the edge off a little bit, and it'll help you really parse out what's priority and what's not. Koi fish, there is always enough. This is Pisces energy. Pisces energy is creative energy. And then it came out with claim your independence, which is Aries energy. Pisces, Aries, the ending and the beginning. So this is also kind of a death rebirth cycle. It's like there's no this is like the birth canal kind of. So yeah, it is high pressure and it is high stress and it is a pain. But it's also saying, listen, there's always enough. There's an abundance of Pisces is a creative energy. It's where creation comes from, dreams of not just thinking outside of the box, but a place where the box doesn't even exist. Do you know what I'm saying? Claim your independence. This is a sense of claiming your creative independence, claiming your creative freedom. Or maybe when you realize, wow, I need something where I'm a lot more liberated and I'm a lot more allowed to be the creative person that I am. Oh, sorry, guys. Something's itching my nose. I apologize. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, it was just itching so bad. So what you're learning this week is to claim your independence from, first of all, claim your creative independence from what's going like what's in your life, what you're doing. And it's also claiming your independence from your emotions, because there's a lot of emotions, or there's a really emotional person in your life. And it's you saying, I'm going to take care of me, and realize that those emotions are not my emotions. And it's once again reiterating, you have to separate yourself from all the emotional crap that's happening around you. Not separate yourself from your own emotions, but separate yourself from like the ridiculous amounts of emotions around you, especially stuff that's happened in your past. Separate yourself from things you felt in the past, or from letting the past build up so that it just comes pushing out and maybe kicks off a birth that you don't want. Like kicks off something, some kind, like a breakup or something. Like, I gotta readjust. I'm sorry, guys, because I know there's going to be complaints. So yeah, anyway, I know, but I saw it and I had to fix it. But it's almost like realizing, like, from deep down inside, you have this potential to just explode unless you realize that those feelings are separate from me. You could be claiming your independence from something that is really emotional, finally being able to let it go and let it be in the past, so that the burden comes off of you and you don't carry that burden too. It's like you're realizing, I gotta let some shit go, or else it's gonna drag me down with it. I gotta let some past shit go, so that it's like so that I can bear the weight of whatever's on my plate now. Really, really interesting energy. Let's get some of these cards, Capricorn, so that I can understand. Okay, and this is Capricorn energy. I told you how important it was for you to take notes. And that's what comes out. So this is your energy coming out. But it's like readjusting yourself, rescheduling yourself, and setting priorities for yourself. That is going to help a great deal. Who is Capricorn dealing with? Somebody older than you, which means you could be dealing with somebody who has authority over you, or they're an elder of yours, and that's why you can't talk back or you can't respond. It's almost, they could be thinking they're helping. It's almost like, listen, I've got this covered because I've done this before. And it's like, okay, but did I ask you to do it? And if you say that to them, they'll get offended. And so it's almost like it's emotional, right? Because you don't want to be usurped. You want to still lead this project or whatever you're doing, but at the same time, you don't want to be disrespectful at all, because you're very traditional. You don't respect your elders like that. I mean, you don't disrespect your elders like that, but you're feeling the pressure of somebody else's authority put on you, and sort of because you're emotionally attached to this person, there is just this sense of, well, I can't tell my dad to shut up and listen to me. That's just not going to happen. But ultimately, okay, so I asked who it was, and then Druid, hold the space. This is definitely an older person. This is definitely somebody that you do consider wise. There is a wisdom to this person. There is a sort of spirituality to this person, but they are sort of older than you. That doesn't mean they're more mature than you, but they are older than you. So it's like, in some ways, what the cards are suggesting is they really looked forward to doing this with you, or they're really excited, like they held the door open for you. So it could be that you feel really obligated to this person. If this is somebody that you admire, look up to, or that they've done you favors, it's in that is really causing kind of the pressure to build up, because you don't want to talk against them or have them feel like you're speaking against them. So don't speak against them. Speak with them. Like, talk to them openly about, okay, this is what you're talking about. This is what you're talking about. Oh, okay. All right. Well, how about this one? Or what about this one? Like, start where they're at. In other words, you got to meet people where they are. And they clearly think that they have an upper hand here. So start with them having an upper hand and then just keep asking questions, which somebody who's taking the lead should be willing to do, is answer questions. Just that's a little bit of a suggestion coming through. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. This is fortune. You could actually, in some ways, be very lucky for these inputs, or this person is a Sagittarian, or they have a Sagittarian kind of personality. And what does that mean? It means they don't think before they speak. They just speak. And they have a whole hell of a lot of confidence in their ideas. And they give advice, but they don't take it very easily. So if you're dealing with that, it's like this person is on your side. They think that they're aiming, or it could be you. I could be describing you. You think that, I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm helping somebody, when all the while you don't realize that that's actually not how they perceive you. They perceive you as trying to take over. The interesting aspect of this week is that it seems like that's how you're feeling, but you could flip it. And so if you're having conflicts with people around you, it could be because of that, of people feeling like you're too authoritative, or you immediately took authority without thinking maybe they want to do this themselves, or maybe they want to have a conversation with you about it. Either way, I feel like you're legitimately feeling but I think for most of you, it's you're in the opposite shoes. Now you're dealing with somebody kind of pressing on or repressing your authority, and ultimately challenging and wanting to make all these changes that maybe you're not ready for, or they're not open to anything that you're suggesting, right? So let's see how that energy is going to impact different areas of your life. The link is below, and I hope you join me. I'll see you in the extended.